Hey, would you love to have a fantastic love life, a fantastic relationship with your husband or wife? If so, today's episode is going to be magic for you. It was certainly magic for me. Here's the story. I met this amazing couple this last week at a conference and was fortunate enough to film this interview with them. And as I met them, I noticed that they were snuggled into each other. You could tell that they had affection for each other. You could tell that they loved each other, and I wanted to hear their story. I wanted to know what made them like that. Were they always like that? Have they been in love this whole time? They've got 5 kids. Has it always been like that? Well, they told me their story. They started out maybe not as great as they wanted to be, and they ran into some suggestions, some ideas, something that you can put in place in your life so that you can have the kind of love life, the kind of romance, the kind of relationship that you've dreamed about, that you've seen in the movies, that you've read in the books, and that, yes, you can create in your life. They have a fantastic idea for you that you can put in place to have those kinds of relationship stories that you've built, that you've created. So just one more thing. This was filmed at a conference. Unfortunately, outside the conference, there was a cheerleading competition. So it was really noisy. Please forgive the noise in there, but listen to their idea. Now, this interview was with Joanna and AJ Ludlow. He's a physical therapist. He's enormous. He looks like Captain America to me. I think Captain America. She thinks Thor, but because he's so friendly, I think Captain America. You can chime in the comments below, but pay attention to what they say on how you can have a fantastic relationship simply by creating it. All right, thank you so much for joining us. We've got some amazing people I want to share with you today. We've got Joanna and AJ, and I met them at a conference, and we were talking about relationship stories and how we can use those to really better our marriages, better our romantic lives. And they shared something with me that they have learned at a previous conference, and I loved it. So just kind of for full disclosure, we're at a Kirk Duncan seminar, and this is something that he taught them, and as they share their experience with me, I'm like, I gotta check this out and share it with you so that hopefully you can improve your marriage and the relationships that you have. So tell me a little bit about what you mean by creating a relationship story.
Well, as part of your story, you write not how your relationships currently are,
Okay.
because ours was not good at the time. It wasn't bad. I think a lot of people think I don't need to do this because I'm not on the brink of divorce.
Okay.
And we weren't. We were just kind of flatlining.
Yeah.
We were roommates. We got along really great. Felt like things were going good. But it was kind of dull, like a plateau, or maybe even kind of slowly going down, perhaps. But you write about what you want your relationship to be. And so you can interject anytime. For myself, I wrote, I have a really close relationship with my husband. We have fun together, we talk together, we share ideas together, we enjoy our time together, we look for opportunities to be together, we're really close.
Yeah, and I feel like you write, how you want things to go, and it's empowering because it gives you a sense of, you have control and you're able to rewrite your story, and you kind of slowly start to see things change. Even sometimes if you don't think about it, but as you read your story, you read it every day, or you read it to each other to reinforce it, and it really does sink in on a deeper level and kind of change your behavior over time and change your relationship over time. And so we found that it took us to a different level. We grew closer. And even beyond that, other goals and things you have, you're able to move forward. So I feel like it brought us to a different level, like the next level up, brought us closer and helped us in a lot of ways.
Okay, so just kind of explain this to me. I'm trying to grab my arms around it. So when you wrote your story, were they statements, or was it like a dramatic story? Was it a narrative? Was it a page long? Was it a paragraph? What did your story kind of look like?
Well, it was a page, one page. If it's too long, it gets to be too much.
Okay.
So it's just one page, and you just write how you want your story to be. For example, this would be my story now. I wake up, I don't want to face the day, there's so many things I need to do, life is frustrating, I don't even know what to begin, the children are going to be awful, I don't get to see my husband all day, he's at work all day. That was my story. What do I want my story to be? And so that's what you write. What do you want your new story to be? You change your story. I want to connect, no matter how much time we have. And it was, you try to make it as descriptive as you can and as realistic, almost like you're describing something playing out.
And yeah, and it's in different segments. So you write about yourself, your own characteristics. You write about your relationship with your spouse and with your family. You write about your house, like your household, how things go in your house. You can include, your career story, how that affects your life. So you kind of break it into different segments and get really specific, really positive wording. You can't talk about what you don't want to be. You're talking about what you are as if it's currently happening or has already happened.
Very cool. And then I think you shared something with me yesterday that you actually had each other voice it and record it. Is that right? So tell me a little bit about that. That sounds awesome.
So when you hear it from a different source, besides just reading it, it sinks in more. It validates it because it's coming from somewhere else. So we would read our story to ourselves and record it and then listen to it right before we go to bed. So it's bouncing around in our heads all night while we sleep. And then you read your husband's story and you record it so he can hear your voice telling him, you are an amazing provider. You are a good husband. You love to spend time with your family. He hears it from you. Coming from you, it just means more and it sinks in more.
Yeah, just to have it reinforced on different levels from yourself, reading it yourself, recording yourself and hearing your wife or your spouse read it to you. I think just the more ways you can take it in, the deeper it sinks in.
So when you guys first started doing this, how did it sound weird? Did it feel weird? Did it feel uncomfortable? But that's not how reality is. I mean, where were you? And then how did it change? How did it change you?
Well, I'll be honest, I didn't want my husband to hear my story because I was embarrassed and I was nervous for him to hear the deepest, most desperate desires of my heart for our relationship. And it was really hard for me to even say those out loud because I had wanted those things, but I had given up on them. And if I hope for them and they don't happen, then that's harder than just not hoping for them. And so instead, I just stopped hoping for them. And I just thought, everything's good. It's good. Why would I want more? And so it was awkward. I felt like I was saying a lie. As I said them, I felt like this is not reality. And the more I heard it and the more I heard it and the more I heard it, the more I accepted it just a little bit until it started to become, this could happen. This could happen. And the more we read it, and actually we didn't really realize how much of it had come true until he asked us and we started thinking about it. A lot of these things have come true. But at first it was very awkward.
Yeah, the same for me. It's strange writing it out, but as you do it, as you go through the exercise, as you kind of fine tune it a little bit, you're like, wait, hold on, I get to write my own story. Like I can choose what's going to happen, what direction I'm going to head, and so it becomes very empowering. And so it helps you. I think that's why it helps you get to that next level. You start to see that these things are possible, and you're starting to move in that direction, and so it kind of reinforces itself over time. So yeah, it does start weird, but it's very, very empowering.
Oh, cool. Anyway, I wanted to share that with you. When I talked to them yesterday at this conference and they shared with me what they were doing and how it helped their relationships, I was like, that is so perfect for the series. We're talking about, our strategic beliefs and our core stories, the stories we tell ourselves over and over again. Do we have the power to rewrite those? Can we change our relationships? Can we change our lives? I love this idea. I hope you put it into practice, and make sure you subscribe so that you can get more great ideas like this. So thank you, AJ, thank you, Joanna, and thank you for joining us today. What do you think? You've heard our thoughts. Now let's hear yours. In the comment section below, share what impressions came to your mind. What did you get out of this? If you have had thoughts to take action, please do so. Always listen to your inner voice. It's your ultimate guidance system. Of course, the best place to take action is at scottwilhite.com, because if you join me for a free web class, I will reward you by sending you my purpose planner so you can have a physical guide to help you get in touch with your inner guide. Your core story will serve you or shackle you. It's up to you. Choose your beliefs and pick your identity. It is choice, not chance, that determines your reality. See you next time.